friend. In my last video where I demonstrated ways to use ink-stained paper towels, I made a panel where I inked an embossing folder and ran my inky paper towel through it, and I just loved it. And I said in that video, stand by because I'm going to share a fun way to use this piece, but I needed some time to actually figure out what exactly that project would be, and today I'm going to show you. I have decided I'm going to turn that really beautiful inky paper towel that has been embossed with the zinnia flowers into a really sweet little book that I can give away to a friend. I plan on tucking in some photos and some sweet memories, and I'm really excited to make this project because it's a lot of fun to make something other than a card when that is what we ordinarily do. And I love breaking free from making cards sometimes and making books or making home decor. So I'm really looking forward to having fun with today's project, and I am excited that you're going to join me and watch my creative process so that you can get some ideas and inspiration to try at home as well. So without further ado, let's start stamping. Okay guys, I am actually going to make a very simple journal booklet out of a greeting card. Because yesterday I filmed making a journal with the panel from my last video and I got lost in the vortex. If you guys have made junk journals before, you know what I'm talking about. You will lose hours, you will lose days because you are just in the zone having so much fun, and it's so addicting and it's so relaxing you just can't stop. So I thought, whoa, gear down, big rig, start with something simple. So that's what I'm going to do at the beginning of this video. So I am going to actually run a piece of paper towel that has been all inky, just like I showed in my last video. So it's like a paper towel like this that I use for watercoloring with inks, tear it apart once it's fully colorful with the inks, and then glued it to cardstock. And I put it inside my zinnia embossing folder that I have inked with early espresso, and I thought the camera was on and it wasn't, and I don't dare open this because I don't want to muck it up because everything's all lined up. So there's the story there. So I'm going to run this through. I just re-inked my early espresso ink pad because when I was making my journal yesterday, I did a lot of sponging, and my ink pad was starting to get tired, and it said, oh, I need to be refreshed. And I'm like, I have just the ink refill for you. So it has just been re-inked. So this is going to be really nice and dark from that re-inked ink pad. Looky there. Looky there. Does it get any more pretty? Leftover paper towel. What? It's so gorgeous. All right, let's turn this into a card. Real simple. So I'm going to trim it down to measure 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll do 5 1/4 by 4. And you know I'll be saving this. Definitely. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. All right, I think I have a crumb cake card base floating around on my desk. And seriously, the paraphernalia that I have on my desk right now from making my journal yesterday, let me just show you. Let me show you what I got going on in a pile here. I've got designer series paper, I have memory and more cards, I have paper from old books and music books, and man, I just went through my stash, and oh, I'm telling you. And I know we all have stash, right? We all have stash. Well, let me tell you, you're gonna want to pull out your stash when you're making these books. They are just, my goodness, I just can't even tell you how much fun I've been having. So much fun. So there. Okay. Do I want crumb cake? After all of that, I'm not 100% sure. Yes, we'll stick with the crumb cake. Okay, and I'm going to open up a brand new tube of glue because I pretty much completely emptied this yesterday as well. I love it when I can just go in my craft drawers or baskets and pull out a fresh thing of glue. You can use tape runner, of course. But I do like using glue a lot, as many of you know, because I can reposition if I need to. All right. Card. All you need is a sentiment, and ordinarily you'd put in your paper for the inside sentiment, right? But we're going to make booklets slash journals slash junk journals slash whatever floats your boat out of greeting cards. So you can use any standard size greeting cards. Ordinarily, of course, ours are 5.5 by 4.25 when closed, right? So I'm going to get some computer paper and show you how to make a signature, real simple to put inside. I'm just cutting my 8.5 by 11 computer paper to measure. Let's think about this here. No, we're gonna cut it at 5.25. And then I'm gonna just fold it and cut it at 4. Okay, and I'm going to incorporate some designer series paper in there just so you can see that as well. And you can make the inside pieces whatever size you want. So I'm just going to grab this one. It's left over from crafting yesterday. So this one measures 4. And I'll cut that down at 5.25 as well. And let's do one more. Let's do this gorgeous one. Oh my gosh. Okay, 5.25. And I'm gonna cut some of those flowers, that's all right. And I'm actually just going to fold this in half and cut it at 5.25 because those extra panels that are gonna come off are definitely going to be used. And then they're already cut and already the length that I want. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so let's bring these in. I'm going to open this up, put that into one little booklet, and then I'm going to bring this one in. See how that's coming out a little bit? Totally fine, totally fine. And that's just because it's getting thick, right? Those of you who make journals know what I'm talking about. All right, now I'm going to bring in my card. I've changed my mind. Hang on. I changed my mind. I want the green to go there, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. I'm going to kind of make sure it's even Steven. And then I'm going to bring in my piercing mat and my take your pick tool. And I know, I'm sure everybody has different ways of doing this. I actually did a video quite some time ago of how to make little booklets, just like what I'm doing. And I'll link the video for that in the description below. But I actually found my little notebook. It was in one of my drawers, so I pulled it out so I can show you. Now, there's my 3 holes, but I'm actually going to make another hole right there because I'm going to add a tassel. So I have my little handy dandy antique adorable little needle holder. I'm going to grab a great big needle, and I'm just pulling in some baker's twine, run that through. This needle is so old. When I was younger, my girlfriend's grandma, her name was Nellie, but we all called her Granny. She's the one that taught me how to do basic knitting and crocheting slippers and blankets. And oh my gosh, she was wonderful. She would start and finish my projects for me because I would always struggle. She'd fix my mistakes. And then sadly she passed away and I didn't know how to do any of it, and I didn't have anyone else to teach me. And then YouTube and internet entered my world, and So yeah, I love doing all that stuff, but this needle actually brings back a lot of great memories because it was Granny's and I remember her showing me all the things. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this second hole and I'm leaving a little bit of a tail here. Pull it through. Then I'm gonna come through this top hole. Okay, pull that through. And now I'm going to go back into this one because we're making a double loop for the tassel. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this through so that I have just a little bit of a tail here. And I'm going to go back in through the top because we're making a double loop. And that's going to make it secure for the tassel to hang on. And this, I learned this from watching treasure books on YouTube. I don't know the name of the lady, but oh my gosh, she is absolutely delightful to watch. Just a real pleasure. So I encourage you to check out her channel, and her video is titled Taking Greeting Cards and Making Them into Journals. So even though I've made these booklets before, I'm following her binding idea for this one, which is very close to what I've done too. And you can see here, all I've done is I've just tied a knot, okay? So that is nice and secure. Now we're gonna go back through this hole right here. You wanna make sure you're not pulling your needle through your twine. Okay, there we go. Now we go through this middle hole like that. I'm going to go through the bottom hole, back up through the middle hole. Okay, there we go. And now this part, to end it, you're just going to slide your needle underneath that loop and you're gonna make a knot. So easy. I'm just pulling that through. I want to make sure it's kind of tight, so pull that up. I'm gonna take this out here. And just tie a knot. Make sure it's secure. That's easy, easy, easy. That's all there is to it, my friends. So that is the basics on how you can turn any greeting card into a booklet. I'm just trying to find my bone folder. Here we go. I'm just gonna crease those so that it folds down. Little booklet. So of course you can decorate it, do whatever you want, finish the cover. This is the booklet that I did a video on this years ago. I don't even know how many years. It's been years. And I did the binding pretty much the same. I used a smaller needle, but that's neither here nor there. And I put all kinds of things. I put little shaker things in there. I put DSP, and you can tell I haven't like filled it out because honestly, I liked it so much. I had it for decoration on my shelf, but I did start filling it out. Happiness is stamping with my friends, snuggling with my dogs and cat, eating popcorn, bath, vino, and a good book. Brian, of course. Being in nature, flannel sheets, sitting on my swing in the sun, foot rubs, the sound of rain and fresh cut grass. I should have put the smell of fresh cut grass. Being with family, traveling and exploring and road trips, gardening and planting flowers, and having a good laugh. So I did start. Oh, and I put a few things in there under my gratitude list. So I will fill this out. But honestly, it made me happy just to look at this. So it was on my shelf. So that is a bigger size because you can make these whatever size you want, right? So that is how, but this was not a greeting card. This, well, I mean, it could have been, but this is using the complete, like, normal greeting card size. So I'm going to kick it up a notch and show you how to add a tassel. You're going to need a jump ring, and my jump rings are too small. I need to get some more. So this is just a bead, just a pretty pink bead that I'm going to use. And see, I used to make purse charms years ago. Look at all my fun beads that I have not even looked at forever and a day. I used to love making purse charms. I need to do that again. So look at, here's some more fun beads, like all different fun things. See, these are what I use for my purse charms. Oh my gosh, fun, fun, fun. We all have so many different hobbies, don't we? Anyways, okay, and then I have this one that I've just started that's got more of the earrings and stuff. And see, my jump ring is, they're like way too small. So either go get some jump rings or use what you have, which is what I'm doing. Okay, so I have an itty bitty tiny jump ring and clasp. And I need to get some things that are bigger than that, because that's real small. But that's what I'm using today. So I'm going to just put this through that loop, just like so. I'm just going to open that up and put that through. Doing it the hard way. I know. Okay, and close that up. Now I'm taking some more twine, and we'll do 3 of those. Oops. I found some ribbon in my little basket. Got some different bits and pieces. This one, some of these might be too big, but we're gonna go for it. So I'm gonna have all different sizes, and I have bits and pieces of leftover ribbon in my ribbon basket in little baggies like this. So I'm just gonna go through and see what I've got. So I'm just going to layer them on top of each other. There's no right or wrong. Because we have the crumb cake, I'm going to pull in some crumb cake linen thread. This is a Tina variation because she's improvising with pieces that are really too small for this. But I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to put them in kind of one by one. Just holding them down in my fingers. There's all different kinds of ways to do this. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's not how you do it. I'm just trying to make it work, friends, because I'm using jump rings that are a little bit too small. There is a will, there is a way. Some more metallic. Alrighty. And put this on my little clasp. And close it up. And I do have my little tool somewhere for doing this, but I don't know where it is. There's my pretty little tassel. I'm just going to trim this up, and I'm going to add some beads. So these are the beads. I think these were just, you know, dollar store, wherever. I've had them for years. That I forgot to do was to secure my ribbons up at the top, because they're going to slide around, right? which I don't want. So I'm just taking some gold ribbon. I'm just going to wrap this around and secure it. I'm just going to start by tying a knot first of all. Really tight. Whoops, that's tight. Let's do that again. I'm doing it a little bit lower down. Nothing wrong with that. Lower. Do it on this side. Much better. Threading these through. I also have pulled out some embellishments from Stampin' Up. Some of these are so really pretty, and I've had them for years. Sometimes you can find them on the clearance rack. I love the clearance rack. Look at this. So I'm going to pull some of those in as well. What else have I got here? I mean, look at the packaging. You can tell it's old. Sending Love Embellishments. Old, old, old. But fun, fun, fun. So maybe we'll grab some wooden beads, embellishments. Use your stuff. Use your stuff. Play around until you're happy with it. So to finish the front, I want to make like a shaker element. So I have a piece of window sheet, some Moody Mauve, and my die from the Garden Meadows die, and I'm just going to cut across my window sheet. I'm going to cut out 2 window sheets. I'm going to cut out my cardstock. All right, let me show you what I've got. I have this. I'm going to set this aside for another project. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my tear and tape. I'm going to go down along the inside. I have a window sheet. It's not exactly straight, but it's enough what I need for this because I'm going to trim it out afterwards. Make sure that's sealed up really, really good, which it is. And now I'm going to bring in my foam adhesive strips and put them around like so. I forgot to trim that window sheet, so I'll do that in a second. That up against here. Right, from my stash, look at, I have all kinds of sprinkles and different fun things. Some of these are, most all of these are long retired, but want to use them. These are from Well of a Time sequins. Do I want those? Do I want the shells? Shells don't really have anything to do with this. No, we're not going to do that one. So these ones are the Subtle Shimmer sequins. So I'm going to put some of them in there. These ones are Woven Thread sequins. Measures just shy of 5 1/4 and just shy of 4. It looks like I need to trim that up a little bit more. Need my little shaker. I'm going to put this onto my card. pretty. And all I have to do is add a little sentiment. And I put the plastic on the bottom because with it being the paper towel, of course, I didn't want my embellishments to get stuck on the fibers of that paper towel. I'm bringing in Charming Sentiments, and I'm going to stamp Everything Will Be Okay and cut it out with the coordinating die. Now I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and I had ink on a clear block, which I just spritzed, and then I stamped and just kind of smooshed it across. So that's just left over from another project, but it's got a lot of the colors that are on this paper towel. So I'm just going to use that to stamp my sentiment, which I'm going to stamp with Early Espresso. Right. I'm just going to glue this right on the front. Too much glue on there, so I'm going to take some off. Just going to put this right there. And I have this butterfly that I'm going to put here, and I'm just not sure yet how I want to do this butterfly. I'm thinking I'm going to emboss my butterfly. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some color. So I'm going to bring in some Daffodil Delight and my sponge. And I'm just pulling out colors that are in that paper towel background. Afternoon. Gorgeous grape. It's pretty background I'm getting from doing this. I don't want to lose all my blue, but I definitely want some gorgeous grape in there. I'll add some down here. Pretty. In my Early Espresso marker, do his body. I'm going to cover this with Versamark ink and emboss with clear. Okay, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do it twice more just to really build up that embossed layer. A little fleck of gold in there, which is kind of pretty. Really building up that beautiful coating. Something in there, I don't know what. Take that out. Alright, seeing that gold makes me want to add some gold. I'm not going to use my gold leafing because I don't want to lose a whole lot of that. So my idea is I'm going to stamp some splatters and emboss that in gold. So I'm bringing in the Notes of Nature, which I am so sad this is retiring. Many of you know how much I love this stamp set. Okay, this is an experiment. I've never done this type of thing before, but you don't know until you try. It's all about play. Alright, let's see what happens. And of course you want to make sure that clear that you put on is dry before you do this. Oh, this is going to be cool. Okay, so I just created a new technique, I think, because that gold spread into that clear behind it. Right? You don't know until you try. Let me get some black so you can like really see that. Holy moly. Look at, can you see how the gold, because I had the clear behind it, right? It's spread. Oh, stand by. I'm going to do a video just on that technique. Those of you who watch this video will already know how I did that. Wow. Love it. Wow. I love it when we play and experiment and come up with new ideas. And this just blew my mind. Okay, this is now going to get glued on the front of my book. And I do have a particular person who this is going for. She's been on my mind the whole time I made this. I think I'm going to put the butterfly so it's resting. I was going to do it over here, but I think I want it so that it's resting right on those words. And yeah, be careful with my glue. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in my craft mat, squeeze some glue down, and I'm going to add it with a bit of a sponge. That way I don't add too much glue because I really don't want to get glue on that window sheet. I was tidying up my desk. I came across this little tiny strip. I'm actually going to put that right along here. So I'm just going to trim off the end, make it even. I'm only doing that just because it's here and I don't want to waste it. It pulls in the pattern behind it. This is a little more wider than this side, and look, I just think that is a nice finishing touch. My finished little notebook made out of a card with that pretty background panel, my fun tassels. And of course, if I wanted to add some different things inside here, some different poems and sentiments, I could do that. So just very, very basic, but so pretty. And you can do this with your Christmas cards. You can recycle your cards. You can do all kinds. And of course, you don't have to go crazy with the tassels like I did because I was just having way too much fun. And I do love how it looks. I'm going to show you the other journal that I've been working on. Exactly the same concept, but it's a lot thicker because I'm making it like a junk journal. And I had a sentiment on here and I had inky fingers and I messed it up, so I tore it off. And I like this so much, I'm going to do maybe like a circular or I don't know what, but I might do a shaker on the front of this as well. So I literally pulled out my stash, you guys. I pulled out memories and more cards from years and years. I stamped gratitude. This is from the Zinnia set, and I just stamped it with my gorgeous grape, stamped it on some vintage paper that I just got at, you know, a thrift store. Different little notebooks that I've pulled paper out, different embellishments left over from cards, and my little bits and bobs container. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, and I'm gonna take my time playing with it and putting pictures in it. Like I kept a spot here for a picture. This has a pocket. Yeah, these are envelopes that I put in. This is actually an envelope that I just put into my little book, and a little fold out. So I did film this. This is actually from a Scentsy box. They have beautiful little sentiments inside Scentsy. Shine your light and illuminate your life, your heart, and your dreams. Recapture a childlike sense of wonder and adventure, and always remember to stop and chase the fireflies. I love that. And then this is from a Memory and More card that I just cut. Some leftover pieces from cards that I didn't use or leftover from classes. Little pockets that I can tuck my memories and more in. Oh my goodness, guys, it's a vortex. Once you start making things like this, you can't stop. And I'm just using my stuff. It's time. Pull out your papers, pull out your different bits and pieces, and just start playing. And these books are definitely an addiction. I haven't made one for so long. I just forgot how much fun they are. This is another envelope, so I'll tuck something in there in that little pocket. So yeah, that is how I took today's project and just, you know, kicked it up. And I'm just going to keep on working on it and decorating it. And of course, I'm going to add a tassel. Definitely. If I can say anything, I think it's that today's project is proof in the pudding that you need to just play, have fun, pull out your stash, pull out your buttons, your beads, your sequins, different bits and pieces that you've been saving for the years. Go through your cards and start making little booklets. You can make them simple or as crazy as you want. The whole point is to just have fun and create. And then you've got beautiful gifts that you can give, or you've got different little journals that you can make, little gratitude journals, or online there's all kinds of awesome journaling prompts that you can use. Friends, I am so addicted to making these. It's not even funny. I just can't stop, and I am so excited to spend some more time making journals and books. And if you're interested in more of that, let me know and I will share the video process. I actually did film this yesterday, but it became quite long, so I don't know. If you guys are interested in seeing this and seeing me finish it, then I will create a video for that. And I would just encourage you to just really play and create and be you. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I appreciate you so much. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel. The little thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and the little bell to notify you every time I upload a new video. Take care and happy stamping.